Hi friends, for this next 6 weeks we're going to be reviewing the elements of art, but we're also going to be celebrating Women's History Month for the month of March. So let's get started. Hello KRD artists. So we're going to start with reviewing the elements of art. The elements of art are line, shape, color, texture, space, and form. And we're going to start with form. 3D forms or three-dimensional forms are forms that have 3 dimensions: height, width, and depth. So we can see a sphere, a cube, a cone, a cylinder, pyramid, and rectangular prism are all 3D forms. You usually see forms in art in sculpture. So for the month of March, we're going to take a look at all different types of women artists for Women's History Month, starting with Japanese American artist Ruth Asawa. Here you can see Ruth Asawa inside one of her sculptures where she is weaving with wire. Here you can see others of her sculptures hanging in an installation. Ruth Asawa created sculptures inspired by nature, shapes, and shadows. As a kid, Ruth and her 6 siblings would help with farm work. While sweeping the barn, she would draw shapes which resembled her future sculptures with a broom. The continuous weave in her sculptures was inspired by basket weaving she saw in Mexico. In 1982, she helped establish the Ruth Asawa San Francisco School of the Arts. And then in 1993, she was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Women's Caucus of the Arts. I really noticed the forms that she was able to get with her wire weaving. A lot of almost spherical or cylinder-like forms. What do you notice about her beautiful sculptures? Oh, do you see forms inside of forms? I do too. So, in your art kit, you received a little package of Model Magic clay. So I thought it would be fun to do Model Magic clay pencil toppers. This way, you can have a fun sculpture, or you can create a sculpture around your pencil as an armature or a support for your sculpture. Of course, you can just work with a sculpture on your own without a pencil. Notice that your clay is white. You can change the color of your clay either by coloring it with markers and then mixing it before you sculpt with it, or letting it dry and then paint it afterward. Here you can see 2 examples made with Model Magic. Here you see a penguin that's made with different forms. See, you have a sphere for a head, and a sphere, a bigger sphere for the bodies, spheres for the eyes, and for the little eyeballs. And of course, Model Magic kind of just sticks to itself. But when you're sticking to itself, don't press too hard or you might misshapen your forms. This dragon was made using one piece and then stretching it out. And then notice that the little spines on his back, those were actually pinched with the fingers and then cut. Take a look at this video that shows some working with clay.
Notice that he's using the tool in different ways, like he's used the spoon, and he's using a pair of scissors. And notice how they're using their hands to pinch and pull. So what's really cool about Model Magic is that you can cut it as well. So here they're cutting little arms and even little toes. There they're stretching out the feet and the legs. And then using a knife for those little toes and a toothpick. So all sorts of tools you can use, even a comb. Okay, so that's something that you can do with your clay, right? And then if you would like to do something with wire, then you can try that. You can try some buttons and wire. If you don't have wire, you can use pipe cleaners if you want to try to do a wire sculpture. But when you do sculpture, you probably want to make a plan. You might have more than one idea, and then you can pick your favorite to actually try to make into clay or a wire sculpture. Think about the different pieces that you might need for your sculpture. And then if you're going to have colors, are you going to make the colors before? Like you're going to mix up your colors with the Model Magic before you make your sculpture, or are you going to paint it when it's dry? So if you're going to use Model Magic and let it dry, it will dry in about a day. And then so it's got to be built in one day and then left to dry. And I would probably try to make it small because I just gave you enough Model Magic for a small sculpture. All right, so I can't wait to see what you come up with a sculpture. Of course, if you have other materials, you're welcome to do a sculpture with anything that you have at your house. And if you don't have an art kit yet, remember, you can come up to the school for a free art kit. Just please come by the office to pick up one from your grade level. All right, Coyotes, I'll see you next time. Make sure that you are being creative and you have fun.